Alright, what is going on, everybody? DSP here, and welcome to the Week in Preview. It is Sunday, May 15th, 2016, and you may say, wow, Phil's hair is looking nice and clean cut. It's because I actually just went and got a haircut earlier today after I finished my gameplay stream of playing Doom, which will continue this week. We got a lot to talk about continuing this week. All I want to say is thank you for a great week. This past week has been amazing. Uncharted 4 and Doom. Two of the best games I've played in quite a long time. Doom, surprisingly so. I didn't think Doom was going to be anywhere near as good as it actually is. And I'm just having a ton of fun playing these new games this past week. I'm going to talk a little bit about this new week. I'm going to balance ongoing stuff with the new releases of this week in just a moment. I really don't have much to say in the realm of Patreon this week, besides the fact that I am in the works of planning out this Indies Marathon. If you don't know yet, the thread is live on the kingofhate.com forums, where patrons for the month of April who pledge $5 or more are nominating indie games for me to play in this upcoming marathon, which will either be the last week of this month or the first week of June. We'll see what happens. So please, if you haven't yet and you are a patron, go over there and nominate games. If you cannot nominate yet, the good news is tonight I'm taking all the information that the patrons have sent me over the past month and sending it to the webmaster, Onyx, and he should be upgrading everyone in the next day or two. So everyone should be able to nominate games, because in around a week to maybe a week and a half tops, I'm going to turn that into a poll where now the patrons will be voting and determining which games I'll be playing in the Indie Marathon. And let me tell you, if you can't see the thread, if you weren't a patron for April, wide variety of stuff that's been suggested. Some stuff from the past, like Terraria, some stuff that's recent, like Salt and Sanctuary, some stuff that I've never even freaking heard of. Some people put up some survival horror style games that are indie games. I'm very excited to see what the patrons pick, because every time I've done this, the things have been so different and varied. It's been a learning experience for me, and I cannot wait for this new Indie Marathon, okay? The one thing I will say before I get started with the schedule, I'm making a separate video from this Week in Preview, because this month, for the month of May, I'm setting up the patron goal tonight, alright? It's going to go live on Patreon tonight, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. It's something different. It's not a kind of goal I've done before, but it does relate to things I've done in the past before, and I'm changing the formula up on purpose for this reason. I don't want to go into any detail here in this video because this is the Week in Preview, but FYI, if you're interested in pledging this month, if you want to know what the Patreon goal is for this month, what everyone's pledging towards, please check out this individual video that I'm going to upload right here after I finish with the Week in Preview, so you'll see that later tonight here on the King of Hate Vlogs, okay? Alright, fair enough. Without further ado, let's talk about this week. As those of you know who've been following along this week, I am in the midst of a Doom playthrough. The reboot of Doom by id Software. I can't believe how good the game is. Like, I played the multiplayer beta, and I said, wow, this is like an old school Smash Mouth kind of game. It really is like hardcore. They cut out all the watered down crap of the modern day shooters. It really is kind of one of these Twitch shooters, and I like it. I think it's really fun and interesting and different because it went back to the roots of competitive first-person shooters rather than all the crap that they've now watered down these series with over the years for these more modern gamers, okay? I really liked the multiplayer, and then I started playing the campaign. Oh my god, the campaign of Doom is like a modernized version of classic Doom from the 1990s. All the enemies return, most of your favorite weapons from that series now return, and by the way, the air conditioner turned on, that's what you're hearing. And it really is that the gameplay style is a throwback to classic Doom, so anyone who's played those classic FPS games of the 90s is going to absolutely love this game and this playthrough. I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I found out the campaign is huge. Like, I thought it was like 5 hours long. The campaign of this game is like 10 to 13 hours long. So right now, I believe I'm finishing up stage 8, and there's 13 in the game. So that means there's another, 4 or 5 stages left before I can beat Doom. So I need to keep playing that. But I also liked the multiplayer so much when I played it Friday night. I'm dying to play more multiplayer, and I want to do that as well. So this week, I'm going to try to balance Doom's campaign with some more multiplayer with the new releases. which we're going to discuss in a moment, all right? So tonight, Sunday night, I've already uploaded a batch of the new Doom campaign to DSP Gaming. No further gameplay tonight. Like I said, right now I'm doing the weekly preview, then I'm going to do the special patron goal video to explain to you what the goal is for this month over on patreon.com/DarksidePhil. And then I'm going to be doing patron stuff. I actually have to upgrade patrons. I have I believe two private Q&A videos I have to film tonight. So I've got a lot of work to do in regards to Patreon tonight. That's what I'm going to be doing. Tomorrow, Monday, my gameplay stream at noon Pacific time will be the continuation of Doom's campaign, okay? So that'll be tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I'm not going to stream it, but I am going to do an offline session of Doom multiplayer gameplay, and that will be uploaded to DSP Gaming as well. So tomorrow, all about Doom, the final marathon day of Doom after a fun weekend in the game, okay? Now, I pretty much expect I'm not going to beat the campaign of Doom tomorrow, which means I'm going to need at least 1 to 2 more sessions to beat it. So allow me to explain how I'm planning on doing this. Tuesday, we've got a new game release, Homefront: The Revolution. Now, this is interesting because apparently it is a pseudo-sequel, or at least it's in the same realm as that game Homefront from years ago. If you remember, it was when, I believe it was the Koreans invaded America, and it was a what-if kind of historical military scenario. I don't 100% remember the plot the whole way. If someone's going to say, oh, it wasn't the Koreans, it was this group or something, I don't remember, and I apologize because it was a long time ago. I just remember I liked the game. And it was a polarizing game for a lot of people. I actually thought that the single player was much better than the multiplayer of that game. I heard the whole formula's changed and the game's going to be way different, all right? That's going to be Tuesday. I'm going to be checking that out, okay? I'm going to be playing that on Wednesday as well. So I think Tuesday, Wednesday will probably be Homefront: The Revolution. And since I haven't beaten Doom yet, I'll probably maybe be balancing that with Doom with offline sessions at night, okay? Thursday of this week. Now, I know this is a weird day for this, but this is the day it's coming out. The first major DLC for Fallout 4 is being released. It's called Far Harbor. From all reports, this is the largest DLC ever for a Fallout game, including Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So you remember some of those DLCs were quite lengthy, right? Some of them, I believe, were like 6 to 7 hours long if you went and really searched and did all of the content of them. In this case, it's supposed to be even bigger. So I am stoked to play this. For those of you who are fans of my Fallout 4 playthrough back in late November, December 2015, this is going to be your cup of tea because I'm going to be taking my time playing this daily, going through, searching the world, doing side content, and just re-immersing myself in the world of Fallout 4. If you remember, there have been 3 DLCs. One was the Automaton DLC, which had some story, but not a lot. It was very bare bones, 1 or 2 story snippets here or there. It was mostly about you building a robot companion, okay? I wasn't blown away by it. I thought it was okay, but it was very short, and I really thought that maybe, I was looking for something better. I skipped the entire last DLC for Fallout 4 because all it was adding stuff that you could craft at the workbench, which, as you know, if you followed along my playthrough, I really didn't care about the workbench. Like, sure, it was a nice thing that they added in if you want to customize a house or whatever in the game. I was there for the narrative and the gameplay. I wasn't there for building my own, house and world and stuff. So I didn't even play that last DLC because I really didn't care. I'm very excited for Far Harbor because finally it's the kind of DLC we're looking for from Fallout 4, right? Especially if you're a longtime fan like me, you played Fallout 3 in New Vegas. This is what we're craving, this kind of DLC. So I hope, even though it's been a long time since I've done, any kind of coverage of Fallout 4, that you'll come back and check out Far Harbor later this week because that's my focus for the later half of the week. It's going to be Far Harbor with a little bit more Homefront pretty much for the rest of the week through the weekend until we hit next week, okay? So, if you didn't notice, I mentioned a ton of gameplay. Doom, both single-player and multiplayer, Homefront: The Revolution, and Fallout 4 Far Harbor. I'm not really mentioning any kind of vlogging or anything like that. And if you've been watching all my stuff this year, you noticed that earlier this year, January, February, March, I did a lot more vlogging than I ever did before. I was doing react videos, and I was doing impressions, and I was doing this and that to all kinds of stuff. Movies, pop culture, news items. And if you notice, that kind of has been cut back upon recently. It certainly wasn't intentionally. It wasn't like, man, I don't like doing it. No, I like doing the vlogging. And if anything, I had a massively positive response in the past several months that I was doing it to the increase in vlogging. The problem is, it's been so release heavy recently, and it's games that I want to play, games that I want to check out, that I haven't really had, outside of me maybe reviewing a game or doing like a first impressions of something, I haven't really had much time at all to vlog. The last vlog I did was a week ago. It was my reaction to Captain America Civil War. And besides that, I haven't really had a chance to do anything for a long time. And I realized that, okay? You know, I said earlier this year I was changing up my formula, and I did. And then all of a sudden, for the past month and a half, it's kind of gone back to gameplay. That's going to change soon. If you actually look at June, and especially this summer, okay? This summer, things are going to slow down to a crawl because there's like nothing going on gameplay-wise when it comes to releases. So I'm going to be balancing things such as, you know, playthroughs with maybe I'll start doing countdowns for KO Gaming, which I know I said I wanted to do, and it's just been so busy, there's no chance for me to do them. That will be the time when I can actually try to do stuff like that. You know, what are the top 10, my top 10 most hated bosses in all the games that I've played since I've been on YouTube? What are my top 5 favorite fighters in fighting games? You know, stuff like that. I could definitely do stuff like that, and I just need to get to it. So hopefully this summer, right? Also, you know, like I said, vlogging, I can increase that. There's been tons of things that I could have done reaction vlogs to. The Assassin's Creed movie trailer, right? Haven't had a chance to even see it. I'm not even kidding you. I haven't seen the trailer. I'm so busy here with just playing the games that are new and uploading and following the business, and then, you know, all the stuff in my personal life outside of it. I don't even have time to sit down and just like relax a little bit and get caught up with everything that's been going on. So there will be an increase in vlogging coming. We have to get through the next month or so when it's going to be super heavy amount of releases. Okay? Update regarding a movie I was going to see, which I've been mentioning a little bit on and off here. Originally, I was going to go see X-Men Apocalypse in the theaters, but I've now heard so much negative stuff about this movie. People who've seen advanced screenings are saying the movie is a convoluted mess. There's far too many X-Men in it. None of them are really given backstory. They're just thrown out there to fight with each other, and really the movie just ends up being a jumble, and that's actually what I was afraid of when I was watching all the trailers for this movie. First of all, Apocalypse looks terrible. He always has looked terrible. I think the design for the character, they really messed it up. They could have done a better job. Having all these people, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, but it's going to be Psylocke, Olivia Munn is Psylocke and all this. All those characters and stuff. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, but being that I know how expensive it is to see movies these days, like I just went to see Captain America Civil War and dropped over $50 between the tickets and just snacks there. It's ridiculous. I know how expensive this shit is. I don't think I'm going to see X-Men Apocalypse in theaters, so I don't think I'm going to be doing a reactions vlog because I'm not going to see it. I might just wait for it to go on demand and do it that way, okay? But the flip side of this, let's say coming up in the summer, things slow down, there's not a lot of game releases. If I watch a movie on demand, like I just watched The Revenant, and man, that was a crazy fucking movie. Like, it was visceral as hell, but it was good. And I talked a little bit about it on social media. That's the kind of thing. If I watch a movie on demand and I want to talk about it, I'll do a vlog about it, okay? That's the kind of stuff you can expect coming up as things slow down with game releases. This is just, it's been kind of almost like the second hardcore gaming season. You know what I mean? Like, it's been so many releases for the past 2 months, I haven't had a chance to breathe. But I think coming up, after about a month here, I'll finally get a chance to slow down a little bit and start working on the other stuff, all right? So that's pretty much it. The weekend preview is the Doom campaign, Doom multiplayer, Homefront the Revolution balanced with Doom, Fallout Far Harbor balanced with Homefront, and then during the weekend we'll see how far I've gotten in all those releases. Until next week releases, which there's 2 next week, Overwatch and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'll talk more about those next weekend. Alright? That's it for the weekend preview, everyone. I want to thank you very much for everyone checking out all the new game coverage and stuff that I did in the past week. Next week should be fun too, so hopefully you'll check out all this new stuff I just mentioned. Without further ado, I promised you this last week, and apologies I didn't have it for you last week. Thank you to the following patrons from the month of April who made the upcoming Indie Games Marathon possible. Please check out the upcoming patron goal announcement video, which will be coming out right here on this channel later tonight. But for now, peace out everyone, and I'll see you for all the new games this week.